Okay. Laka.
Your host is recording the session.
No, I don't want to. Don't allow.
Um, what's
How's
up?
it?
We are Snobcast, the podcast for film snobs.
Look at us officially having a name in our second episode.
Yeah, and I'm Kobus. This is Almar.
How's
Um,
it?
and we're gonna talk some movies.
As one
Uh,
does.
yeah, I wanted to start out by asking you if you watched anything recently. I haven't really since the last time we spoke, but
I have actually. Well, I thought of like two things. I don't know if you've seen this, but very much would recommend. There's a series called Undone. It's on Amazon. I think it's the actress from uh, like Alita Battle Angel, but I could be wrong. But it's this kind of interesting animated style. It's not live action or anything. Oh, and also Better Call Saul. What's his name? The actor?
oh, I thought you said you were starting to watch
No,
that.
no, no.
Kirk.
Yeah, so he's also in it, and it's this very cool animated thing. I guess I can just tell you what it's about, but I would also want you to check it out. So I don't want to like say too much, but it's just a very cool, trippy thing where a girl gets in a car accident and she tries to help her dead father, who after waking up from the car accident, who she now kind of sees, she helps him solve the mystery of who actually murdered him. And that's about as much as I'll say. But anyway, it's very cool. There are two seasons, so I'm like, I binged it all like in the evening. I think I'm like in the halfway mark of season two. Very
That's something
cool.
that's on Netflix.
No, it's Amazon.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Right. Well,
then no,
oh, I thought that was it.
no.
Zemo.
I watched a movie as well. I watched the original Hellraiser, which
Ah, I've
was
never gotten into it.
very yeah, I saw that like a new thing came out, and I've always like wanted to check out Hellraiser because I know it has like a cult following. So I watched it with my housemate Audrey, and that film, like story wise, it's like iffy, but the effects in that movie, and I think that is something that that film maybe was known for and had like a thing about.
The
It's
practical
like
stuff.
yeah, all the practical stuff. It's super like gross and gruesome and like
I
very
mean,
like like there's some things they did where I'm so like, whoa, this is like it's that typical like 80s horror effects with like just gross
the
creatures
things
and puppets and things and yeah, and blood. Yeah,
are
great watch.
way.
Yeah.
There's a new one of that out now.
Yeah, that is why. So Audrey's watched it before, and she's like, "Cool," but she's like, "You have to at least watch because there's a few like old
There's
ones."
a lot of them, yeah.
Yeah, but she's like, "Just watch the first one," and then she's like, "And then we can watch the new one." But I did see the new one is it's like it's not a sequel or a prequel or a follow up or anything. It's like completely fresh and new. So I didn't really need to watch the original, but now it'll be nice to, I guess, compare it with something because I'm planning to watch the new one that came out
Yeah.
for the spooky season.
Yeah, I never really do the whole spooky season thing, and I always see people on Letterboxd like doing it and stuff. And I love horror movies, but I'm not like that's not like my thing. I'm not like the
It's a
horror
good
guy.
time, or like a good time and a good excuse for me to watch horror films, but also like in general, like I watch them throughout the year anyway because I like horror
Yeah, and
films.
and in the spooky season, I'll just
Yeah,
watch whatever I was gonna watch anyway.
yeah.
Um,
But yeah, those were my watches that I can think of.
yeah, I watched half of Ponyo because I was at a friend's place and we went out.
But you have seen Ponyo before.
I've seen it, I've
Yeah,
seen
yeah,
it,
yeah.
yeah. But we went,
I love
I was
Ponyo.
at a friend's place and we went out, and then when we came back, we just like put Ponyo on and we all just passed out on the couch um, halfway through because, as beautiful as they are, they can have that effect when you're already tired.
Yeah. Also, like
Um,
sometimes when you read subtitles, your eyes just also tend to
yeah,
just
exactly.
go.
Yeah. Um,
And at least you've
and
seen it.
also, like, started rewatching Bodies one day while I was doing something else. And then I had to go do something else, so I didn't finish that either. So I've been bad this week with new
Bad.
watches, but yeah, I try to watch stuff at
Sis.
least. Yeah, yeah, that's I should be punished.
Shame bells.
Um, well then, in that case, we can start talking about some upcoming stuff that I'm excited about. Um, well,
I
first
don't
of
really
all,
know of many, so go.
uh, let's talk about the Mario Bros. Trailer.
Let's talk about
That was
the
really funny.
immense hard work that Chris Pratt put into getting
That
his
voice
Mario
that's going to
voice.
blow everyone's mind.
Yeah. And it's just gonna sound like Chris Pratt.
He already
But
does in just a little soundbite. Uh,
um
yeah, I
but
just thought it was
and like
funny.
I didn't know this like before, but Jack Black is Bowser, which I'm like, fuck yeah. I'm keen.
I have no connection to Mario,
Oh, that
so
was
yes,
definitely the first video game I ever played. My grandfather had. Well, we just called them TV games. We didn't call them Nintendo or whatever.
yeah.
But my grandfather had one, and we played Mario Bros all the time. So
I never played Mario. I don't have any connection to the world or the
yeah.
characters or anything
Also,
like
like
that. So
it's
for me,
only
the
ever
whole thing is
on
just kind of
Nintendo.
funny.
So getting around to even playing it now is like you have to get yourself a Nintendo device, which
Yeah,
meh.
I know.
But yeah, I mean, I'm not that into it. Where when I saw the trailer, I was like looking for anything specific. I was just like, oh, cool, Jack Black is voicing something.
Yeah, and Keegan Michael Key as well, which is cool.
Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, I don't think we have anything substantial to say about that
The
other than the fact
animation
that
looks
it's just,
nice.
just funny. Yeah, I mean, sure, I
Like that,
guess.
it's a nice animated style. It looks like some of the recent games. So I'm like, okay, you got that going for you. But other than that, I don't really know.
I don't
I don't
know.
know
To me,
what to
it
expect. I
just
don't. I'm
looked
not.
like
I'm not really
every
phased.
other.
I'm definitely going to watch it eventually when it comes out. But
For me, it just looked like every other like animation that's come out in the
yeah.
last like
But
10
it's
years.
What's
Like his face is
Despicable?
that typical like Pixar. I don't know, it's not Pixar, but like it has
Yeah,
that like, oh, we
it's
gotta make the
Despicable
eyes
Me
that
Studio.
way.
What's it? Illumination? No, what are they called?
Oh, if it's Illumination, then no wonder because they,
I think
yeah.
it's Illumination.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's me shitting on Illumination for the day.
Tell me how you
Okay,
really
well,
feel.
did you get a chance to check out any of these trailers?
The list that you sent me.
Yeah, I sent them long ago.
Um,
So
I didn't realize the Barbie trailer was out.
not all of them have trailers. There's no Barbie
Uh,
trailer, but I just wanted to talk about it and bring it up
um,
because anytime we get
but
to talk about
no,
Greta,
literally the only trailer I watched of this was Mario Bros. I'm not sure if I watched Causeway, the trailer or not, but
you've seen Bros trailer.
did I?
I mean, you said you're excited for it.
Oh, fuck, Bros. Sorry, I didn't like Register Now. Yes, I am very excited for that. But the trailer dropped like a while ago. Or is there a new trailer?
I don't know. I just thought about stuff coming out now that I wanted to talk
But yeah,
about. So,
anyway, I did
yeah,
see
there's
it.
been a
Very
trailer out for
keen.
a while.
Very, very keen.
Yeah, I'm keen for that. I've coming up to the release of it. When I started hearing a lot about it, I started rewatching a lot of those Billy on the Street videos. Man, that guy's energy.
Yeah, he's something else.
I don't think that's probably not what the movie is going to be, and rightfully so. But
Um,
it was just fun revisiting some of those videos.
dude, okay, you can't see it from there, but
I see the cat.
the cat's head is upside down, but like her lips
I
are falling back, and you just see teeth.
can see it. My cat does
Cute.
that too.
Yeah, but super excited for Bros.
Yeah, I want to check that one out too. Hopefully, it will come to theaters around our area. Um, so this was also really cool, and by Yorgos Lanthimos. There's nothing like substantially released about it yet, other than the fact that it's a new Yorgos Lanthimos movie,
Which
and Emma
naturally gets you
Stone.
excited.
Yeah, and Emma Stone's going to be in it. And who was the other person? Let me just check here. It was like, oh, it's Jesse Plemons and Emma Stone. And I was
Love
like,
Jesse.
okay, so that's going to
Oh
be my
wait, yeah,
favorite.
you did
Yeah,
send me this a while ago, and then you and I
yeah,
both were like, Jesse.
yeah. And I was already like, that's going to be my favorite of that year. I just wanted to mention that. And then White Noise, I'm really keen for, which just premiered at the New York Film Festival. It's Noah Baumbach's new movie, and Greta's in it as well, and Adam Driver's in it as well. Looks very interesting, so check that one out.
Always keen for Mr. Driver.
Yeah, and Greta
Yeah,
and
great, that's
Baumbach.
great. And Baumbach. What a trio.
And then, like we were saying, Barbie, that's coming up. Everyone's excited about that. I just literally wanted to bring it up again because any excuse to bring up Barbie because I'm so excited for that. Um, uh, Empire of Light. Did you see that trailer? That's the new Sam Mendes movie. Olivia Colman is in it. I think I sent that
No.
to you a while, but like back when I was in PE already, that came out. Triangle of Sadness. Come on, you had to have seen this trailer. I'm sure I must have sent it.
I am bad with
This won the
names.
Palme d'Or.
Triangle of Sad. Oh, wait, this already sounds familiar.
Yeah,
Oh,
this one.
yes.
Dude, this looks crazy.
This looks so
I'm
crazy.
so excited for it.
Yeah, that just looks like it's going to be such a trip.
Yeah, it just looks like they really went for it.
Yeah.
And I'm
And
there
from
for
what
it.
I can pick up from that trailer, like I like exactly also that thing of like it's clearly trying to deliver very strong commentary on like a certain group of people and thing. Just like bodies,
Yeah,
very much, you
I
know.
think the director is known for that, Ruben Östlund, I think
Yeah.
that's his name.
So, and it also looks like one of those where like, oh, this looks like it's going to be done in like a hilariously crazy way.
Satirical thing, yeah.
Yeah.
He's won the Palme d'Or twice,
Nice.
which is
For
like
what
he won
other? I
for
feel like I
Triangle
did
of
check out
Sadness,
his.
and
I feel like I did check out his filmography, but now I can't remember what else
he
he did.
also won it for The Square, but I haven't seen his other
Me
films.
neither.
But I'm pretty keen. This will be probably the one that will get me and a lot of other people into his work because I've been hearing a lot of broad appeal, but
Yeah.
also a movie that can turn people off very easily because it's very apparently graphic, not in the way you would think, but like, yeah,
Yeah.
let's just leave it there. I mean, yeah, there's Causeway. That's a trailer that came out, but I think it's with Paul Mescal, right? Something. That was a new A24 thing, I think. But yeah, other than that, I guess we can just get
No, you
into.
forgot the most important one. Mithrigan,
Twilight.
Megan?
Oh, Meg.
No, that
Oh,
Megan.
shit.
But like
Dude,
M3gan, what? Like I
did
know it's
you watch the
Megan.
trailer?
Yes.
That shit was
That
hilarious.
part
I
where it
was
was
like,
like the whole doing flips and dancey things and
bro,
like
I was
everything.
literally sitting, I was watching that on my phone at like 2 in the morning in bed, and I was like laughing. And
Dude,
it's supposed to be like
I can't
scary, but
wait
it's
to
so
watch
funny.
that. Like the moment I
It's like
can.
Uncanny Valley, but not in like a scary way. It's like, bruh, like that is a child in a mask doing a TikTok dance. That is not
The
scary.
moment I get to see this film, I'm doing it. Like I can't wait.
It looked so camp. And then I read the comments, and
Yeah.
everyone's like, oh, this movie's gonna be so good. This movie, oh, it looks so scary. It's so creepy. And I'm like, what are these people on? Like, are they seeing the same thing I'm seeing? But yeah, I'm pretty keen to see any more Megan content
Yeah,
in the
I'll give
future.
this is the one where I'll even prefer having the little teaser telling me I'm about to watch a trailer because as much content as I can possibly consume
Yes,
for
just give
Megan.
me all the, just give
So
me
I
all the
want
Megan.
give me the trailer where you'll tell me I'm about to watch a trailer.
Yeah, that normally it's like, nah, get away with that shit, but give me all
I
of
don't
it.
know. I like what. Why did that? Like, I don't get that. I don't know what the fucking purpose behind that is. Like, here's a fucking 5 second teaser of the trailer you're about to watch. Like,
Yeah, and
you can just show me
it's
the
got
thing
something to do with the short attention span of today. I'm looking at the poster right now.
for Megan.
Uh,
Mithrigan. What are we
yeah,
calling
it's
this? Mithrigan.
no, well, here the E is just like three stripes on the poster.
Huh.
But yeah, I guess it's Mithrigan.
But what, you're looking at the poster?
Yeah, who directed this? What he made Housebound? Never heard of it.
I mean,
But anyway, can't wait
yeah,
for Megan.
that's a movie that's happening.
Other than that, a movie that did happen that I rewatched and that you watched for the first time was
Yeah,
No Country for Old Men.
yeah, which
And
was your
we watched it
nominated
a few
film of
days
last
ago.
week. Yeah, I watched it like 3 days ago, I think.
Yeah, and
Talked about
we've
it at
spoken
all.
since then, but we haven't spoken about the movie.
Yeah.
And it's like I said, was a first time watch for you, so I'm curious. What did you
I
think?
made notes after I watched
Oh,
it. Not many notes. No, just in case because I have a
forgot.
very short, like, kind of fucking, not attention span. My short-term memory ain't all that great. But, if I could find it. Because I guess there's no purpose in you starting off of how you feel about the film. It's a new one
I
for
mean, now
me.
I want to hear what you think.
Yeah, I'm going to where did I? Oh, there's it. Okay, without looking at those first. Overall, like, yeah, well made movie. There's some fucking stunning cinematography. Um, there
Looking
is
for a butt here.
no, not really. I
Okay.
think it's still one of those movies where I've been ever since I've watched it 3 days ago. I've at least somewhere during the day thought about it again because like every time there's just something new that kind of stands out to me. But no, overall great film. I was definitely like caught off guard with the because like the movie is set up as this whole initially you think it's set up as it's this good guy versus bad guy kind of thing. We're going for like a modern day western, but it's this good guy bad guy thing, and that's what the film's going to be. And I guess whoever you essentially decide is good guy is going to like come out on the other end or whatever. And then like when there's like 30 minutes
No.
left of that film, then it's just like nope, we're just gonna kill this dude off screen and like have this change into something completely else. And that's when I realized that film wasn't about good guy versus bad guy. It's literally just about the world and how you can't stop change. It is what it is.
Yeah, it's No Country for Old Men.
Basically,
It's
I feel
about
like the
getting
audience
off.
is very much fucking like Tommy Lee in a certain
Yeah,
sense. You're sitting there kind of afterwards figuring
trying
all
to
the shit
make
out that he's figuring out, where he also inevitably goes like, this world just isn't for me, which I guess is
yeah,
the title, No
and
Country for
also
Old
it's
Men. But
not you're not in his shoes just in the way of where you're trying to figure the puzzle out.
yeah, yeah,
It's in the way of like questioning the world we live
yeah,
in. It's like
because you also thought similar things to him in terms of like, there's the two guys that put it against each other, and like we're gonna get him out of it, like we're gonna save the dude. And then that's what you as the audience thinks as well. Like, cool, that's what this film is gonna be about. It's this cat and mouse little game. There's gonna be some standoff, and most likely the good guy would come out on top. And I'm saying good guy because essentially
yeah,
he's not,
Llewellyn's not a
yeah,
good
he's not a
guy.
good guy. But he's the gooder guy. I don't know.
Is he
No, he's
Sugar is
not.
just
I
a
think that's part of it.
psychopath.
It's everything's like this whole, there's also like just a bunch of morality like
Yeah.
questions in there. But yeah, the way they just like killed him off screen and
The same
just how
with the wife,
everything
the
went.
way the movie ends.
Yeah, and that is when
Mm.
that's also because I love how they did that. So because now I'm just blanking on names, but um Javier,
Yeah, Anton Chigurh.
Yeah, there we go. Oh yeah, sugar, sugar.
Sugar. Yeah,
I
that's
think
what
they made
bread.
that joke.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So because he also had this thing where like he
Also,
know
can I
some.
just say, this movie is very quiet
Oh,
for
but there's
most
no
of it.
score. There's
No,
no,
not just that, not just that. There's
and there's also
extended
barely any
sequences with
dialogue.
no dialogue.
Yeah, which
But
is
then
part
when
of.
there is dialogue, what I noticed this time is such good dialogue. Like every time there's dialogue, it's like, whoa, this is just as exciting as
Yeah,
any of
I
the
did
like
have to
action.
watch Tommy Lee with subtitles because who knows what
Yeah,
that
you
man
can't
says.
understand what he says.
That accent is
Why
thick.
you get away to me go away? That's
Um,
all I hear.
but also yeah, the way they didn't use any music, and also there was so many times where it's like quite so long. That film very much doesn't hold your hand in a sense of we're gonna tell you everything you need to know. But it's also not trying to be like mysterious or like kind of dark about it. But like even in terms of the characters, like so many times the way you figure them out is literally only by watching what they do. It's
It's
not
their
in what they.
behavior.
It's
That's
literally yeah, it's
good
their
character
behavior. It's
writing.
like not
That's
in what they
yeah.
say at all. And that's why like with Anton, you've like throughout you see he has this obsession with keeping his shoes clean. There's a part where like he takes off his shoes and like he was walking around in his socks and whatever. I mean, sure,
Yeah,
maybe he's
yeah.
trying to be sneaky, but
I
then there's
think it's
also the
both,
part
but yeah,
after he kills um
Woody
Woody
Harrelson, and he
Harrelson's
puts his
character.
feet up on the
Also puts
bed.
his feet up, and then what you get is when you get to the wife, they don't show you that he kills her, but as he walks out, he's checking to see if his
What is
shoes
his
are clean, and then you, as an audience member, is left to sit there. And one, that's the giveaway that he did kill her, but you have to sit there and kind of think of like, how did he kill her?
But did he?
No, he did. He checked his shoes.
But did he?
That to me, because yeah, I feel because this film does this whole thing where it doesn't do this hand holding, and it very much I think as an audience member relies on kind of your knowledge of. I don't want to say film language because it's not trying to be like that excessively complicated, but it does rely. It's trying to not.
The
It's trying
full
to not
language in
under.
this is
Yeah, no, the film
really
language in this
strong.
is insane, but I don't want to say they went for that in terms of so that the story isn't like
Accessible.
accessible to a lot of people. But definitely, if you have a bigger kind of understanding of film language and just how kind of beats and things go, then this film sinks in a lot more because you have to you have to watch people's behavior. You have to watch at all the
Yeah.
things that are not said. So a lot of those things
It's
you just.
also just like
It's basically
really subtle
this film
things.
doesn't like it's basically trying to not underestimate its audience at all because it's
Of
just
course,
trying
yeah.
to show you the thing.
Yeah. Which is the kind of movie I'm into when it's not like trying to hold my hand through the
Yeah.
process.
So I think
But
that's
there's
all
also
like
like really, really subtle things in the technical filmmaking and stuff like those. There's a lot of like really subtle, like small push-ins that you wouldn't even notice if you're not like trying to notice them.
yeah.
Like in that scene, the first coin toss with the man in the gas station. That whole scene is like singles and like over the shoulders. And then when the scene becomes a bit more tense, there's like this slow push-in that you wouldn't really notice, but you like register on a psychological level. And it's just great technical filmmaking.
Yeah,
That's
that
Deacons.
reminds me of
That's the
like
Coens and that's Deacons.
that reminds me of that sequence in. I mean, just when you're talking about how the camera like is positioned, is that scene in Inglourious Bastards with Christoph and when he's like there with the guy who's hiding the Jewish family, like that whole scene when everything's super tense, they like isolated him like on his own in the frame the whole time, and every time that Christoph speaks, like they're both in frame, and then it seems more like cool. He's clearly got the power dynamic there.
Yeah.
So I love when they do shit like that. But and then at the end when Anton like that's also where another thing. I think that's also the one part in the film that maybe makes you as an audience member go like, well, fuck, maybe this is just life and you can't control things. Is how Anton abides by the law and drives over a green traffic light, but he still gets hit by another car.
Yeah.
Again, like showing to him that why would I bother following rules and laws anyway? Because this thing just happened to me. And that's why
Yeah.
like fucks off then again. He's like, okay, cool.
So give me my fucking shirt. Here's your $100. I'm gonna
Yeah.
wrap my own arm and get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. And that also is
Um,
showing a lot of stuff between how those kids approach him in that situation and how the older men approached um Josh when he was at the border of Mexico. When he was also asking for a shirt, where they were kind of immediately like
yeah,
apprehensive and like,
yeah,
well,
yeah,
booking money, da 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 da. And then here you have these kids who are like, no, dude, I'll just give you my shirt. Like, you don't have to pay
yeah,
me. I just want to help you. But now it's like, technically, if you look at Anton as the bad guy in the situation, is like, those kids just saw this, like, no good or bad. They were just like, shit, here's this dude who was just an accident. Let me help
yeah,
him. Except for his friend who was like, half of that's mine, but screw him.
yeah. Exactly. Also wanted to say the sound design in this movie is incredible.
Yeah.
Like the sound of Shiger's weapons, like send chills down my spine.
Yeah. Yes,
And just
that Will Byers haircut.
yeah, it's pretty funny.
um,
But it works. It works so
yeah, no,
well
it
for the
does. It works very well for the character. It's like off the bat, they immediately set up for you that this is an extremely dangerous and violent man.
yeah, like the
Like,
first thing he does is fucking
yeah,
shoot a
like dude,
thing.
the opening of the film is like, I think it was like within the first minute or two of, I don't even know, but then it's like, oh, okay, cool. So
Yeah.
that's him.
Oh, I wanted to tell you about the Easter egg that I
Oh, in
found
Red Dead.
in GTA. So I've been playing
In GTA or in Red Dead?
no GTA.
I thought you told me it was in Red Dead the other day.
No, it was GTA
Oh,
5. So I've been playing that campaign for the first time, and I was driving, and you know when you see the red dots on the minimap, and it's like, oh, there's an enemy there.
oh
And I
yeah.
went over there, and a bunch of trucks were standing there, and dead people were lying all around, and like the horns were honking. And then I was like, what? This seems so familiar to me. And then I walk down a hill, and there's a guy who's like, don't do it, don't take it. And there's a bag of money there, and I take the bag of money, and then he's like, now you are dead, man. And then I drive away, and someone starts shooting at me, and I try to like get out and defend myself, and boom, I'm dead.
Damn.
Anton fucking got me, bro.
Damn. That's a very cool Easter egg. Nice.
Yeah. And the trucks are like set up in a way that's like very similar to the way it is in the movie.
All right.
I took some photos, like some screenshots. I'll send it to you later. It was very cool.
Nice.
I don't know if you can actually survive the encounter. Like, I would want to see if
Oh,
that's
did you
possible.
die?
Yeah, that's why
Oh,
I'm like, maybe you're supposed to die because it's this idea that like Anton Chigurh got
but now I want to go and try. I was like, I will beat it.
you. But yeah, back to
But overall
the
feeling though
movie.
of it, like, because there's so much to it. But I must say, like, right after I watched it, I liked it a lot less, and after thinking about it more, like it's like I like it more, and because I understand it better. Like it's taken me a few days to think of all these things. Um, but what did you say? What else was up for Best Picture that year?
There Will Be Blood. A lot of people like compare the two movies, even though like
They're not at
there's
all
no
the same.
real reason to compare them, but
No.
they do because they were kind of neo-westerns in the same year, both by prolific, acclaimed directors. So obviously, it
Yeah.
became a competition thing. So the conversation is always "There Will Be Blood" or "No Country for Old Men." And even
Um.
though I love both of them a lot, and I don't think they should be compared in any way, if I had to pick a favorite between the two, it's definitely "There Will Be Blood." But that's my man PTA. So.
I'm still trying to think. Like, it's a well-made film, and it's like Also makes you ask a lot of questions and all that. In terms of, but I guess that's the obvious thing, because I think that's why I'm kind of fighting with it. Like, from a kind of more, I don't want to say a more enjoyable standpoint, but a part of me would have been like, oh, this would have been a more enjoyable film had it been this good guy, bad guy kind of thing. But I think because it turns it on its head so much, like it throws you so off, that's why it's taking me like 3 days to think about it. So
No,
it's
I
like
love
growing
this.
on me more.
There are movies like that. Like
Yeah,
I'll go
it's
watch
dude,
this
it's
movie
like
with
playing,
someone.
like we said, like playing The Last of Us. You play that game and afterwards you feel miserable. Like
Yeah,
a great
this
game and
movie
great
is
story, but you feel like, oh, what?
this movie is this movie. You know, this
Yeah.
I don't want this to be like a conventional cat and mouse, and there is a cat and mouse element to it, and it's great. But it's dedicated to subverting what you expect from
Yeah.
that kind of story. And
It no,
the
it like
point you're talking
what it
about,
was trying to do, it does that extremely well. It does exactly what it's set up to do at the end. Like it all
yeah.
makes sense.
But the point you're talking about where Llewellyn dies off screen, that's like long into the movie. I think there's like a half hour left at that point or
Yeah,
something.
that's what I'm saying. It's the last half
Um,
hour of the movie where everything just where you're like, oh, this isn't what I thought it was going to be.
I see before that, for me, it already is subverting so much of that. And just the way Anton behaves, the way he'll do one thing in one moment. And then you're like, oh, okay, I get what kind of guy this is. And then the next moment, he doesn't kill someone or whatever. And then you're like, okay, this guy operates by a whole different set of rules. And then you start learning a bit more about Llewellyn and you see he's a bit screwy as well. And then that becomes a bit more subversive as well because he's not like a typical hero. So from the get-go for me, and just the style of it as well, never feels like a typical.
Also with Llewellyn, like immediately, like in the beginning already, you're like what is this guy's motive? Because like all that shit happens, you're like, cool,
That's the other
he's
thing,
then you're
bro.
like, oh,
These
he's clearly
people
good
don't
at
have
track.
motives.
Then he's clearly good at tracking, and then you realize the only thing he cared about, because the first thing he basically asked the dude in the car who asked him for water was like, where's the last man standing? Like that was his
Yeah,
thought. He's like, where's the last man
yeah,
standing? I know there's a last dude left, so there's clearly a thing. I want to go to get that man because I know there's going to be some prize or a thing there, and I want to
yeah,
be the last man. That's me. I want
yeah,
that thing.
yeah. Um, and the style of it as well just never announces itself as like a typical. It's like very slow and considered,
Yeah.
and so
Also
from the
with
beginning
Llewellyn's
for me,
wife, I I love at the end where she's like, the coin doesn't get to decide, and he's like, answer me. And that was like interesting to me because like with Anton, he's always like he always repeats himself to people because he's like, I'm asking you this question, that's the thing I want the answer to. I'm asking you this question, that's the thing I want the
yeah,
answer to. And by the end, she actually challenges him where he's like, choose the coin, and she's like, but the coin isn't in control, like that doesn't make the choice. Basically almost
that's
telling him
a
like basically telling him like, no, you need to now make a choice and you need to answer me. And then at the end, Anton's so like, no, I don't. Like if you
uh,
refuse to play the game, then shame. But which is
see, I
still
don't
it's
know.
just funny from a
That's
guy that wants answers, but then on the rare occasion
see,
that he gives someone the choice, like he relies on the coin to make that choice.
it's exactly there where I'm saying Betty killer. I think it's possible he didn't because exactly in that interaction, it's the same thing of you see that he respects a certain kind of rule and a certain kind of, and I can see him respecting her or like seeing what she does as beating him or something like that and taking that as a
That is
loss, you know?
initially when she was questioned, like kind of taking him on. I thought that maybe this is gonna be that change where he doesn't. But then because you had that thing where they don't show him killing her, but then they have that last second of him checking the underside of his boots. That to
No,
me
see,
was
because
the
I think that is there to be able to go, it could be either. Because if they didn't do that, you would immediately say, like, okay, she didn't die. But putting that there is like, oh, you're questioning it now. Because he could also just be checking his shoe, you
no.
know? Like,
I think that is the giveaway that he did. But that's how I take it. But
yeah,
that's
I
not
don't
me
know.
making a choice, like choosing to think he did. It's like just him
I
checking his
like to
shoes
think
is the film
that
thing that tells me, okay, he did kill her.
I like to think that the idea that it could go both ways also reinforces a lot of the themes about the movie. It's like the double-sided coin thing and not knowing which side of the coin you're on. And I also, it's the typical like optimist versus pessimist thing. And I'm usually pretty pessimistic, but I like to believe there's a possibility. I think she died. I think that's probably what would have happened. But I
I
think
know she did.
I think I think the movie leaves room for you to interpret it in a different way as well. And I think that says a lot about the movie's philosophy as well.
No, no, but he definitely killed her, in my view of the film.
Sure.
But it's just the way they, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm lingering on this boot thing, but it was like set up like 3 times throughout that whole film, and especially with the
Yeah,
Woody
but
part where they so obviously like show you like this is a thing.
yeah, but
And because I think that subversion you're talking about of like, oh, maybe didn't he? I think that subversion only lives with between that space of them not showing her being killed and him walking outside the house. And then the moment he wipes his shoes, I think is where you again go, oh, because this whole film is also a lot about you can't change things. Like these things are just going to keep happening. I think that moment he kind of cleans off his shoes is for you then to go, oh, okay, fuck, he did. So I think the subversion lays in that small little section, but that's just
it
me.
just shows you a film like that's why the fact that we can have such different viewpoints. Well, not even that different. Like I'm saying, the more
Yeah,
likely thing for me is that she died.
no.
Um, but I do think the film is clever enough to not shun the other option as
I think
well.
it can work both ways, like you said. Like from like what you're saying, I'm also like I understand why you would think that way. So that yeah, it can work both ways.
But I do think she died.
She did. She did.
But if someone told me their interpretation of it is that she didn't, I wouldn't say that's bullshit. I wouldn't be like, that's a
I
dumb
could
fucking.
understand their way of wanting to think that.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. No, I
Um,
get what you mean. I agree.
well, yeah, so overall, you'd say, are we?
You were saying
Also,
overall?
I also was thinking now, I just wanted to ask you what other Coen Brothers films you've seen and how this stacks up.
Let me get the list going, yeah.
Fargo, Barton Fink.
Um, Bird of Buster Scruggs, Big Lebowski, Inside the Llewyn Davis. Oh, they did Hail Caesar.
Yeah,
I don't think I felt too great about that one, but anyway.
I think a lot of
Um,
people did it.
I've seen if I'd like on a quick scan, I'd say it's about that, so about like 5 of them.
Have you not seen Fargo?
Nope.
That's good.
Um, but yeah, I mean, Big Lebowski is something completely different. That's such a. I love that movie.
It's great.
Yeah,
You
I
and a
watched that
million
with
other
you.
people.
Yeah, that film's great. Ballad of Buster Scruggs
That film literally,
had
there's a
its
religion based
moments.
around it.
Oh, I have also seen Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Ooh,
That
I
was
love
dope.
that. I
Yeah,
love that.
that was good. I enjoyed that. Llewellyn and Dave, they're all very different. Like if I have to look at their films, it's like they
Yeah, they're
try
great.
like if also when you look at like if you when you look at PTA, it's also like always tries. There's always like something very different about each of his films. Like there's
Yeah,
something.
but there's
It's a
things that
very
overlap as well.
yeah. Like they're like you can see them their style and kind of shit like that. But it's always kind of new, fresh, original kind of stories.
Yeah,
Um,
the Coens, like you watch a movie like No Country for Old Men, and then you watch a movie like Fargo, and you're like, these guys are funny. Like, how, what? Like, and then
is
you
Fargo
watch also,
funny?
Yes, it's dark, but it's funny as well. Like it's got this dark comedy kind of vibe to it. Um, but there's other forms of the Raising Arizona is really funny as well. Yeah, they're great. They do it all. And Joel Cohen made that new Macbeth that came out recently. I haven't seen it, but
Me neither.
so apparently they're not making movies together right now. I don't know what's going on with that. But
I mean, I guess they're allowed to.
I guess, but like it's just weird when you've been making films together for like 40 years. Why stop now? Anyway,
Because they're allowed to.
I guess they are. Um, well, we already talked about upcoming releases and recent watches. So I guess if you want, you can go ahead and tell me what we're watching next time.
Um,
Unless a guest maybe joins us, in which case it'll be their choice. But yeah, that's maybe. What's your
Anyway,
movie?
so I had three. Well, I have three. And because I was like, oh, it's the spooky season, so should I like choose something kind of Halloweeny, which I kind of do. And this one I looked up, I did see on Letterboxd that you haven't watched it yet, but it is in your want to watch list. So there's that one, and then there's two other ones which are like that came out recently.
Okay, but don't give me choices. You must.
No, but I'm making conversation. I'm throwing it out there. Um, I'm gonna go.
I do want to know what the other two were, but you have to then make a definitive choice.
No, but see, the thing is, because I'll probably bring them up in. Well, no, then again, I guess I'll just watch them and have them on my recent watches on the next one. Okay, let me choose one. What can I watch on my own, and what will be our big formal discussion? Let's go. Okay, I've now narrowed it down to two. Let's go Halloweeny. Why not?
Halloween, the
You
first.
said no, I don't mean Halloween. I just mean Halloweeny, like in the spirit of Halloween.
Oh, wait.
Since you don't really do that for the whole spooky season thing, I'll make you do it.
Okay.
Also, don't tell me if you have watched it and you haven't logged it for some reason. But we are going to be watching a good old classic. I fucking love this one so much. We are gonna watch Corpse Bride.
I never saw it, and I'll tell you why.
Oh God, why?
It came out when I was like young, and it
Yeah.
freaked me out, and I didn't want to watch it.
Well, did you ever watch Nightmare? Nightmare
At
Before
Christmas,
Christmas.
no, and I also never saw Coraline. The stop motion thing freaked me out when I was young. I don't know why.
Okay. I mean, Nightmare Before Christmas is great, but I've been really feeling less to rewatch Corpse Bride, and since I now know you have not seen it, that will be the one.
Okay, interesting. Would not have expected that at all. What's the other two?
The other one was going to be Blonde. But yeah, exactly that.
I haven't seen
But
it,
but
but
that's why I was kind of gonna be
I
like,
feel like it's
if it
such
is
a
bad,
chore.
it might have been like a lot to discuss. Oh, but that was the other thing. Then I saw it was having a movie that's potentially going to be quite bad, and then seeing that it's nearly 3 hours long. Then I was like, I don't know about this.
It's not
I'm going
even
to
that.
watch it. I'm definitely
It's
going to
not
watch
even
it.
that
But
for me. Like, I don't mind watching 3 hours of a movie as if it's interesting, even if
yeah,
it's, and it will certainly be an interesting movie. It just seems like a movie that's hard, you know.
I had hopes for that. I mean, I'm still going to watch it and make my own opinion. Have my own opinion. But I had high hopes for it, and the way I've been seeing it's been going, it's not been looking so great, but I'll get around to it. Then the other one I wanted to mention was Intergalactic.
Oh yeah, cool. I want to see that.
But
That was maybe gonna be in my um like recent watches.
Yeah.
This because I
But
was like
then,
about to put it on, but I
yeah,
didn't.
but
But
yeah,
I don't feel like
I'm
that'll be like a big enough movie to
that
really.
that was the other
It
thing. I
feels
wasn't sure.
it's like 90 minutes. It's like 80 minutes long or
Yeah,
something.
that's why I wasn't sure. I was also like, oh, is this going to be enough to be able to discuss? But
Well, that's a perfect. I watched this last week.
yeah.
Let's talk about it for 2 minutes.
I mean, look, I don't know how much you might have to say about Corpse Bride either, but anyway, we're watching movies and we'll be
We'll
discussing them,
see.
so it'll be fine.
Who did that? Did Tim Burton do that?
Yeah.
Really? So he's made an
Please
animation.
don't. I hope I'm not mistaken. Yeah. What do you mean he's
It's
made an
happening.
animation?
So he's made a stop motion animation. He didn't do Nightmare. He produced that.
Oh, did he only produce Nightmare?
Yeah.
Oh.
Ah, okay. Tim Burton and Mike Johnson. So he probably worked with a guy who is like experienced with the puppets and stuff.
But yeah, very, very keen for you to see it. And I'm very excited to rewatch it.
The top review for this on Letterboxd is me. She's hot, brain. She's literally dead. Me, sexy blue wife, brain. She has no pulse.
Accurate. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, just looking at the cover photo here, I'm getting like flashbacks of like being scared when I was a kid.
Well, I'm sure you won't be scared this time around. You're a big boy now.
Yeah, I'll try.
Nice. Yeah, right. Well, then next week it'll be your turn again, unless we maybe get a guest in.
We're gonna try and get some guests on. I've been speaking to some people who are interested. Might not be the next episode, might not be the one after that, but soon.
Yeah, soon. That is the plan.
But it might be. We don't know at
It'll
this
be
point.
whenever.
Point is, at some point in the future, we'll have a third face to talk.
Every so often.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, lekker. Is everything, my brew?
Alrighty.
It's been real. Then I'll see you. Well, I mean, I talk to you all the time, but I'll see you on the next one.
Until next time, don't let Anton get you.
Oh, God. Enjoy Corpse Bride. Peace out. Have a good evening. Bye.